Hi, Sheldon. I'm wondering what your reaction was coming out there, looking around, and then feeling the cold tonight.
Well, you know what? It's obviously it's very unique. You try to take it all in. I didn't get a whole lot of time. Taking the surroundings. You know, you're not out there long. We're getting organized for photo, and you got to run a practice. You're trying to adjust to the elements. You know, the wind was a pretty significant factor out there. You know, so that was probably the biggest adjustment of all, just because it's affecting the sticks, it's affecting the pucks, and snow was blowing around. So that was probably the biggest adjustment, you know, for me. But I did find that our players, you know, I was playing through the practice in my head as it's going in terms of what's actually suitable for us to get done out there. And I adjusted on the fly as I thought the players started to adjust to the conditions a little bit, and we got moving and we were able to get some good work done.
Front right.
Coach, a distraction like this, and distraction is not the right word, but, you know, something that's not normal in your schedule, is it kind of welcome at this time of year? Is it something to help you reset going forward the rest of the way?
Yeah, I think so. You know, the season is long. You know, you're at that point right now where you're just, you know, you're about to round the corner here on the final stretch. So, you know, to have something like this, I think is good, and the timing is good. Also for, you know, with where we're at here in the, you know, through the pandemic and all of that, just to have an event like this where people are coming together, families are coming together, you know. Really, in my time in this job, you know, we haven't had much of any of this, where we were seeing, you know, seeing all these faces around that are a part of our team. You know, we see our players every day, but their families and everything are a huge part of their lives, and thus a huge part of what we're doing. So to see all the people come together here today, it's great. So I think that you know, to have it break up the schedule a bit is a good thing.
Right side, second row.
Safe to say Robertson and Dermott will have to sit this one?
Yes.
And how difficult are those conversations? I'm sure every single player wants to play in such a big game like this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're tough decisions. Every decision, you know, that you got to make is tough, you know. But you have to make them. I mean, in this combination, you know, in Spez's case, you know, whether we're playing outdoors or not, you know, he needs to get back in the lineup. Sandin's been out a long time. We need to get him back going with our team. So, you know, they're natural decisions for me. Robertson and Dermott both have been in for a good stretch here, and I think have done a good job for us. But, you know, we had to make some decisions and some moves. But yeah, you only have. It's almost like, you know, a game like this, maybe you wish they maybe expand the rosters or something like that, keep everybody involved. But you know, it's part of the league. It's part of the deal. You can only dress 18 skaters, so that's the group we'll go with tomorrow.
Back left, standing up.
Sheldon, you already talked about the conditions and how it impacted practice today. I'm wondering how that will influence how the team has to play if it's similar tomorrow, and obviously the first bit of the game there'll be some sun as well, maybe. How that may impact the style of game we see, and your message to the group about how they should play.
Yeah, I mean, we just have to go into it just, I think, planning the play as though it's any other game, and then just adjust to the elements. Obviously the practice today is later for us, you know, and didn't get a real sense of what it would be like in the sun and the daylight and any shadows and stuff like that might be out there, as it seemed like it was for Buffalo's practice. So there'll be some of that to adjust to, but I think you just got to go and be ready to compete, and whatever the conditions are going to be and however the game is, it's going to be the same for both teams. So it clearly is not going to be, you know, the same of what you expect in a regular NHL game, but it is the same for both teams, so we'll be ready to compete.
We'll take two more for Coach, left side, third row.
Over here, specifically on Austin, have you seen, is it just his continued evolution this year that has caused him to have such a season he's had? And does he, who has someone who has that outdoor experience, kind of take the leadership in the room, kind of prepping the team for a game like this?
Well, I think it's, in terms of his game and, evolution, all of that, I think he's proven now. I mean, I'm not sure where his pace is at relative to where it was maybe last season. I think he's right about the same. I think this is just who he is, and he's coming into his own for sure, as he has been for a while, but he's now, taking it to a level that's hard for others to keep up with. So I think he's just feeling good and confident in who he is and what he's capable of doing. In terms of a game like this, I think any player that has that experience, I think we have a number of them. I'm not sure where Buffalo's at with that, but these have been going on a long time. So I think a lot of players in the league have the experience, and Austin certainly does. I chatted with him briefly. Then when he was talking about the one in Toronto that he played in, that the conditions were a lot more favorable than they were out there today. But we'll see how that is tomorrow. But like I was saying, I think it's going to be the same for both teams, no matter how it is. So we'll be ready to compete. And I think things the way that they were tonight, with the wind and the cold and a little bit of snow falling, all those kind of things, we got a little taste of everything other than probably the sun today. So if the conditions are going to be tough with the wind and the cold, I think we got a good taste of that today, so there'll be no surprises on that front tomorrow.
Last question, front right.
Sheldon, obviously a big game for Peter tomorrow, but given what we're talking about, cold and conditions, is it going to be tougher for him to, step up and or can you get a fair read on him given the conditions?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not going to be a normal NHL hockey game tomorrow. I mean, that's clear. It's different, and the conditions are unpredictable and they may change from shift to shift, if certainly if not period to period. So we just got to focus on playing our game as a team. We got to have some fun with this event and embrace everything that it is, but at the same time recognize the two important points are at stake. So we've got to keep that in mind, go out and do the very best that we can, and Peter's no different than the rest of our team in that sense.